cannot tell you how many deals have been just lost because of a realtor. Okay, let me put it that way. Okay,
An uneducated agent.
Uneducated agent.
Welcome to How to Real Estate Podcast, a podcast to help you start, elevate, and catapult your real estate investing career. And you have just entered How To Podcast Clips. To watch the full podcast, click on the card above. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future podcasts coming out every single Monday. Hit that bell, and we'll see you on the back end.
It's nice now that I have more options to provide to my clients.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And you understand that because you got your real estate agent or real estate license just recently too.
Yes.
So you're backwards. You went from investor to agent. How'd that happen?
So I've been investing for quite a few years now. I focused on, when I first started was I had a buy and hold which went horrible, but then I went to fix and flips, and then into wholesaling, and I spent like a good year studying multifamily too. So I mean, I kind of had a long progression. I actually did get my license, even despite that I absolutely loathed and hated realtors, like absolutely, and I was very vocal of my feelings of realtors. So, I mean, obviously, present company excluded. The vast majority, but I mean, I just didn't like them. I thought they were overly confident and didn't really know what they were talking about. They were asking the elbow. They just didn't know.
See, and that's kind of the same thing that the agents think about the investors is just money hungry.
Yeah, they're money hungry. They waste their time. I mean, because there are a lot of like investors that really don't know what they're doing, and so they'll fill out contracts all wrong. And then, so from an agent standpoint, I can see why a lot of agents are like, oh, another investor. You know, I get that totally. It's just. And on the other side, us investors would get to. I cannot tell you how many deals have been just lost because of a realtor. Okay, let me put it that way. Okay,
An uneducated agent.
Uneducated agent, even though they'll tell you they're smarter than me, which in many cases they might be, but not in that particular category. So it was, it's just pulling my hair out. Like are you allergic to money? Like I literally was like, I told him, do you not want money? You're gonna make money if we do this transaction. I mean, what's going on? It's good for your age. I mean, it was just mind-boggling how, and most of that happens when you're trying to do something creative. And so because I shouldn't be so hard on the realtors, to be perfectly honest, because when you don't know something, you just don't know if it's, and you have a fiduciary responsibility to take care of your client. If you don't know it, then like, oh well, I better not, because I don't want to hurt my clients and all.
Right.
And that could be the case for, I think, majority. I think other ones are just stupid either way. But for the majority, they just don't know what it is. So if you're doing seller financing or doing something creative, like your sandwich lease option, whatever it may be, they'll kill the idea because they don't know enough about it. So as an investor, I spent a lot of time actually trying to educate realtors, and it's usually the buyers, because the realtors, before I was an agent, I would get realtors that would invest in real estate too, and they knew what they were doing, and so but then and half the time I would I would just be like I wouldn't use realtors as much as little as I could, but I went on a little tangent there. But you had to kind of try to educate, and because as an investor, you're trying to educate this realtor on how seller financing works and the benefits, like the tax benefits, and like they're going to make $100,000 more over the course of the next 10 years, and then try to explain that to them, and then they are trying to explain it to the seller. And so when you have someone that it's like kind of thinks it's a decent idea, but they don't really fully understand it, trying to explain it to someone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not conducive to.
It's like playing telephone or
yes.
Yeah.
And it's just,
by the time it reaches the other end, it's like, what?
Right.
What is that you're trying to sell me?
So, I mean, the vast majority of my deals that I do, honestly, 95% of it is off market. There's no realtor involved except for me, for the most part. Once the seller is like a realtor for whatever reason. So I having face-to-face interaction with the seller, it's so powerful. I mean, you can actually build a connection with them. You can do so much. You have the ability to educate them about seller financing, for example. You can tell them like the benefits, like you're going to pay less in taxes, you're going to get more money. You can go in details and answer their questions right then and there.
That's the big thing, is being able to answer their questions that everybody has when they're getting explained seller finance.
Right.
Even the agents.
Yes, exactly.
Some agents, not all.
And that's why off market deals is 100% way to go. And the one thing I've become as a lead generation expert. I mean, honestly, not to boast or anything, but just finding people that are in distress and help them. Like providing that karma thing that we talked about before. When you help someone, it's make a win-win scenario. So back to your original question, which I totally steered from.
What was it again?
Yeah.
What day is
it? How long is it? 3 weeks later. So I've gotten my real estate license recently, the past month to 6 weeks or so, maybe almost 2 months now, who knows how long. The reason why I did it is because we are in as of right now, the end of 2019. We're about to start 2020 or 2020. The market is in the biggest bull market in history. It's just going up and up and up, right? Mm-hmm. And so the market gets pretty crazy. So when I find someone that's in some sort of need, and maybe they have a month or two to sell the property, so maybe they're in a dire situation, but it's not super urgent for that time.
Right.
And I can give them an offer for $250,000, but if they put it on the market, they can get $300,000. Mm-hmm. And it's not like I don't want to give them $300,000. It just doesn't make sense for my numbers.
Right.
Like I won't be able to make any money on that. Mm-hmm. And so I'm never going to lie to someone. I'm not going to say, "Oh, you'll never get that." But
there's time. Well, yeah, because as investors, I mean, it doesn't make sense for us to buy a home that doesn't need any repair or doesn't need.
Well, even it does repair, because even if they can get $300,000 now and repair it,
right,
maybe $375,000.
A little more, yeah.
Right? Or depending on how bad it is, right?
Right.
But just the market's so crazy right now. I just wanted another tool in my tool belt, and that's what this podcast was actually going to do. It's going to give you tools in your tool belt. Each podcast is going to give you another tool which you can pull out to fit whatever situation you need. So with me having a real estate license, I can I have to disclose I'm a realtor, right? And I tell them but my intention is to purchase the property. Mm-hmm. So I can give them several options. Like, this is my cash offer. This is if we did creative financing. Even if we did like a lease option. I can give them all these options. And if that doesn't work out for them because maybe they don't need to sell, or just they need to get more out of it, or whatever they need. Like, okay, well, give me 30 days and I'll list it for you. We'll see if we get that $300 for you. Mm-hmm. So one, I'm getting that commission, which is cool, great, and I'm also to be able to help them, because I've already been in an hour. I'm already in their home for over an hour.
Right, at that point.
Yeah.
As without your license, you would have just walked out,
exactly,
without being able to help them list the home.
Right. I mean, I would give them a referral as far as of a realtor.
Right.
Everyone and their dog knows a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
So 90% of the time they would just be like, "Oh yeah, my cousin's a realtor." Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But with a lot of times when you're building that confidence of showing that you are an expert and you can not just fit, not only can you list it, but you can do other things in case.
Right.
And so.
Like, here, let's try listing it. If it doesn't sell, hey, at least I'm always here.
Right. Yeah. If it doesn't sell, you can put the emergency button. Bam. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jared's gonna buy it for $250.
Yeah.
I mean.
Let's at least try it.
Yeah, exactly. So at least try it and get it going. So that's 20 minutes later. That's why I got my real estate license.
Whew.
Yeah.
That was a long one.
I go in tangents. So
no, but that's good. That's how I feel now. It's not only do I do what I'm doing as an agent, but now I have all these other tools with the creative financing that I could offer these clients too. Cash offers, all the connections, all the networking I've done. I'm able to provide other services, not just listing their property.
Yeah.
Which is very helpful in situations where people are in dire need to get out of their home.
Right.
We hope you liked that podcast. Stay tuned for next Monday for a brand new podcast and a brand new guest. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.